Many times we have been in a car where the driver has been texting and driving, or you yourself had been texting and driving. It is a very common thing nowadays with technology advancing. Texting and driving is a serious problem, especially among young adults, and I would like you to consider my approach on texting and driving. I have done research on this topic, and I am capable of telling you almost everything you need to know about texting and driving. I'm going to talk to you about the impacts texting and driving can have, why it's happening, and some things to help you and others prevent texting and driving. According to the Institute for Highway Safety Fatality Facts, each day 11 teens die and nearly 25% of all car accidents are caused by texting and driving. Many of those who text and drive don't realize its impacts and thinks that it's not distracting towards them as a driver. According to texting and driving safety statistics, 55% of young adults think it's easy to text and drive. And of those who do text and drive, 10% of their driving time is spent outside of their lane. Texting and driving can cause serious impacts and also some that aren't so serious. For you as a driver, your passengers, and other people on the road. It can cause simple injuries such as broken bones and cuts. It can also lead to other disabilities more serious, such as amputations or brain injuries, or also being paralyzed. And it can also lead to death or killing someone else. Next, I will talk to you about why texting and driving is on the rise. Technology is advancing, and because it's advancing, they're putting it everywhere. They're even putting technology in cars. For example, there are touchscreen displays in all the new cars, and those can turn your seat warmers on and off, and it can control the temperature in the car, and it can also change your radio stations. Most cars also have a thing like Siri, where you can tell your car or tell it to call someone or text someone, and sometimes it doesn't always work or understand what you're saying, so then you have to go in and manually do it yourself, and that can be distracting for you as a driver. And now I'm going to show you my visual aid.
How many letters?
5 letters.
Just think about, what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
And for those of you who couldn't read the lettering on the screen, it said, if you're texting, you're not driving. The last thing I would want to tell you about is taking action and preventing texting and driving. Taking action is simple, and there are many ways you can do it. As a driver, you can designate a texter, and they will text for you and tell you what your texts are saying, so therefore you're more concentrated on the road, hopefully. You can also put it away, so therefore it's out of sight, out of mind, or you can also put it on silent mode, so you don't hear that you're getting notifications and you don't really realize it. And there are also many apps on your phones that the purpose is to prevent texting and driving, so while you're driving, it won't allow you to text. For a passenger, you can be the designated texter, and you can inform your drivers by simply telling them that you don't allow texting and driving while you're in the car, because it can impact your safety. And if they don't respect your wishes, you don't have to get in the car with them, you don't have to drive with them, you can call a taxi, call someone else. And for any other person on the road or texting, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can maybe honk at someone, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stop texting and driving, or even in fact realize what you're honking at them for. Each way I have talked to you about preventing texting and driving could potentially save your life along with many others. With these simple prevention tools, I challenge you to put them into action. You can learn more by simply typing in texting and driving onto Google, and you'll get plenty of information and lots of videos. I have discussed texting and driving, why it is on the rise, and some prevention tips to stop texting and driving. With this texting and driving issue on the rise, you can save lives by following the small steps that I informed you on. To end my speech, I hope that I have informed you enough about the dangers of texting and driving, and hope that you use some of my tips on preventing it in your daily lives. Don't stop it.